let's just start briefly by reviewing kind of what we talked about last week, and it very much builds into this week. So the first question we sort of need to ask ourselves is like, what's factoring again? Like, what is factoring? And what it is it's the opposite of multiplying. Okay, and let me just show you what I mean in a couple examples, and so you can kind of get back into that headset, because it's really, it's one of these things that you just kind of have to get into a mindset to be able to do it, and it's sort of a tricky skill. So if you remember, right, this is multiplying. Like this, right, this is x plus 3, oops, times x plus 5, right? That's multiplying. These two things are being multiplied. So like if I multiply this, this is x times x, right? I'm distributing, so I'm going to distribute x times 5. So that's x times x is x squared, x times 5 is 5x. And then I distribute the 3 times x and 3 times 5. So 3 times x, 3 times 5. So I get this. Oops. Oh, sorry. Okay, so that's multiplying, right? Here's another example, and I'll just do it really quick, right? And notice I threw a negative number in here. In this case, the 5 is negative. So this becomes x squared plus 4x minus 5x minus 20, which simplifies. This is 4 minus 5, that's minus 1x, and I would just write it like this. And what you notice, right, is the observations are that in both cases, in both of these multiplying problems, this number, we'll call it this single underline number, is the sum of, we'll call these the circled numbers, right, is the sum of these, the circled numbers, right? So you can see like here, this is 3 plus 5, the sum, and here this is negative 5 plus 4 is negative 1. And then remember this number, that third number, we'll call that the double underline number, is the product of the circled numbers, right? So here 3 times 5, right, product is multiply, 3 times 5 is 15, negative 5 times 4 is negative 20. So we might, right, that's what we learned last week, is we sort of noticed that cool little pattern, and so then we could use it to do something new, which is factor, which is the reverse of multiplying. These are opposites. Right? So I can say, okay, well now what if I have something that looks like this, right, which looks like the answer to a multiplying problem? Well, all I need is to figure out, okay, I need two numbers that add to 9, right? Add to 9 and multiply to 20. And I can say, okay, well, what are those two numbers that add to 9 and multiply to 20? That's x plus 4, x plus 5, right? 4 plus 5 is 9, 4 times 5 is 20. Or what about, right, gets a little bit trickier if I have some negative signs in the mix. So now I need two numbers that add to negative 3 and multiply to negative 70, right? Here they had to add to 9 and multiply to 20. What about add to negative 3 and multiply to negative 70? So this time I for sure know I need one negative and one positive. That's the only way I'm going to multiply and get 70. And what I'm actually looking for is two numbers that subtract to get 3, right? Because I need two numbers that I can end up with a negative 3 here. And I think, let's see, 70, 35 times 2, oh, those don't have a difference of 3. 7 times 10 is going to be the key here. So which one is going to be negative? Well, if I need them to add to negative 3, that's going to be negative 10 and positive 7. So if you remember, this is what we did last week. So right now you're going to do a few problems, just 3 problems that are like these, just to review from last week, and then you're going to see how I build on it from there to get into this week's content.